Welcome back, beautiful tri state area. You're listening to a moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. In our Hello Open Metaverse segment brought to you by Animoca Brands, today we're featuring Dr. Martha Boeckenfeld, listed as top 100 women of the future, world's top 200 business and tech innovators, and top women in tech. Wow, that is a lot of accolades. She is a Metaverse Evangelista, a keynote speaker, and dean and partner at Metaverse Academy. She's created her own Marthaverse using the power of the metaverse to create immersive learning experiences that inspire creativity, collaboration, and critical thinking. Today, we're chatting about how artificial intelligence is enabling and enhancing the metaverse and why you should be paying attention. Now, overall, the potential of artificial intelligence in the metaverse is immense, and its impact on society and the economy is yet to be fully realized. By considering the importance of accessibility and inclusion, we can ensure that the metaverse is not just a technological advancement, but a force for positive change in the world. The concept of the metaverse has captured the imagination of many, promising to transform the way we interact with each other and the digital world. Then we read news like Zuckerberg has quietly buried the metaverse and the metaverse is dead. I could not disagree more. In fact, the metaverse is still very, very much alive and kicking. This is much, much larger than Meta, Microsoft, or any individual company. The metaverse is a network and a layer that is connecting the physical world to the digital world, enabling us to use the power of the cloud and omnipresent services in our life. Martha joins me now to chat artificial intelligence, digital evolution, the metaverse, and her thoughts on a robot operated world. Welcoming now to the show is the amazing Dr. Martha Boeckenfeld. Welcome, Metaverse Queen.
Thank you very much. That's a new title for me. Highly appreciate it. I'm super excited to be here today and talk about my favorite topic, how it's all changing. And I think a lot of people also ask, when is the metaverse there? The metaverse is only there when we don't talk about it anymore. So let's wait for this moment.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Now we're speaking the same language. So tell us, let's just jump right in. How will artificial intelligence help shape the metaverse? And more importantly, what does that really mean for Web3 users?
Artificial intelligence, even though some people have now said the metaverse, as you said, is dead, but is couldn't be more dead. As one point you already mentioned, but AI is the soul of the metaverse. So everything we see and how the whole metaverse is living is via this soul, via AI. So what does it mean for us? What I'm most excited about is that through AI we can access metaverse much easier. So there's more inclusiveness. You have, for example, people with disability. So we can build bridges with AI to get better access. We can create avatars. We can create immersive worlds. And now also with ChatGPT, you can even say, I want to have this kind of virtual world for me. And it has been started to create these beautiful metaverses on some platforms already.
Revolutionary stuff if you really think about it. And with the help of AI, you're completely correct. The metaverse is closer realization than ever as AI is playing a crucial role in making this vision a reality, from generating these realistic environments to enabling natural language interactions. I mean, incredible stuff. The metaverse has the potential to really transform the way we really interact with each other and the digital world. And of course, AI is the enabler making this happen. And if you look at the global numbers, the global metaverse market is estimated to surpass $1.3 trillion by the year 2030. So this is definitely, there's some gold in them digital hills. Now, let's move on to a new headliner here. So humans.ai is the blockchain of AI and is being used to mint super skills, quote unquote, and voices that users can apply to avatars within different virtual worlds. So to put this into perspective, humans.ai lets users create digital voices, speak in different languages, and implement synthetic voices that may prevent discrimination. So you can enter a Zoom call with a different voice, for instance, which could prevent discrimination if you wish to remain completely anonymous. Now, Dr. Boeckenfeld, this will certainly reshape social lifestyles. And then voices are minted and as non-fungible tokens to give users true ownership of their voice clips. So now you're really incentivizing people to do this. But one can argue that hiding behind an avatar is not authentic and feels like catfish in a business setting. What do you say to this?
I would say that avatars are really beautiful, and also the technology you described from human AI, if you use it correctly. So for everything we do in future technology and innovation, we need to think about the ethics and the governance and the regulatory part. But I think it's more about what is close to us, a human being. So when I'm an avatar, it feels like it's me. And there is also some neuroscience research. My friend, for example, Srini Pilar has written just 2 days ago about avatars being the health heroes. So why are they health heroes? Because with avatars, you can train people to be healthier, to live more healthy. Because when we see an avatar, we have total identification with that avatar. So if you create an avatar, for example, you have a lot of obesity in certain countries, like also in the US, and if you create avatars, you want to be like that avatar. So it's very interesting what you can do with it. Again, also in terms of inclusiveness, training with people where Black people and other people are discriminated. You can have role plays in the metaverse with avatars. And there's studies about it that you learn much better now how to behave. And that's very simple with school kids, with everything you do. So avatars are not something separate. They are the self-extension of you. And that's important to realize whatever we do.
That's a great answer. That's why you're the doctor. Now
Thank
let's
you.
shift to the sandbox. So a lot of Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they're very familiar with the sandbox gaming here, but it's a popular decentralized virtual world, and they clocked in more than 1 million users last year. Now they are at over 200,000 active users each month. And in the sandbox, users can connect with their digital identity, make friends, and even have real emotions through these experiences. So it doesn't matter where users are from or how old they are. The sandbox, in effect, is a global digital nation. Now, with this in mind, the platform has the potential to reshape social lifestyles now, especially over that demographic. Now, 3 billion people are digitally native. So the way to interact, to your point, is now with avatars in social worlds and across social media platforms. So it feels like we should be jumping into some level of investments surrounding that space. I mean, if you're looking at it from a business perspective, and you seem to have your eyes and ears, on the street in the metaverse, what kind of business opportunities have you come across in the metaverse that have stood out, and what catalysts are needed for Web3 and the metaverse to become more mainstream?
And so maybe I turn to the second question because one of the catalysts is certainly digital identity and digital wallets. So we see a lot of different digital wallets coming up. When we talk about digital wallets, you have to think about you have an Apple phone and you also have an Apple wallet. In that wallet, you have already plane tickets and whatever. So think about it that you can also have digital assets in your wallet. So you mentioned non-fungible tokens. You have your whole digital identity in your wallet, your whole health data. How annoying is it if you are traveling? So the more people are having a higher adoption to digital wallets, more trust, I would also say, in AI, that will certainly drive the whole Web3 area. So that comes to the second question. The first question, less about the investment, but what I would really look at, and this is always depending on the use cases, is when you are like me or you or anyone, you need to get into the new technology because it's the future of the internet, the entire metaverse and Web3. So if you think about it, at the time when we had the internet, also we didn't jump on it. That was fine. You don't have to be early mover. But what we see here with the trillions of economy are being created outside from Meta. So, for example, with NVIDIA, with the Omniverse, they do a digital twin for Siemens, for BMW. So, very, very big things. You have mentioned Sandbox, where you can really change social behavior, where also Animoca invested there because they are great in game playing. So, the sandbox is not by itself one land. It's really a rounded partnership with over hundreds of partners, similar
Yes.
to other metaverses we see. So partnership collaboration is very important, and you have to always think about yourself. So for my company, for myself, what is the use case? And then you can choose the right environment. So it could be blockchain based, it could be at the beginning non-blockchain based. There are very different options, and you have to lean to experts to help you. But I think most important, do it very simple. Try to go to events. That's what we also do a lot, and have a VR experience. Because once you have that, you feel like, wow, this is absolutely real.
You feel like you've entered the space, literally. Yes. And this is all revolutionary stuff. And a great example, I'll go back to the sandbox. Now that it's not that I'm plugging it, but it's a great use case here, is the sandbox users eventually will be able to incorporate their own physical movements into their digital avatars, resulting in more personalized and realistic characteristics. And the sandbox is going to partner with Kinetics, a technology startup specializing in AI, to bring what they call emotes, animations that express emotion, to video games and virtual worlds. And these emotes will allow users to animate avatars through customized dance moves and physical interactions displayed in reality. And they have developed a unique AI that allows users to record movements with a phone's camera, which can then be applied to avatars. This stuff is completely, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, there is a really great YouTube short video about how Avatar, the movie, has been created. And at that time, obviously, I mean, it's not long ago, 1 or 2 years ago, the latest series. And at that time, they use a haptic suit. So to basically translate from the person into the avatar. So exactly from what you are describing now, the next technology, already after a couple of years, is that you can do it with your mobile phone. And we also have VR headsets, for example, from Hive, where eye tracking is included. And as we discussed at the beginning, it's super, super important that you have the right ethics and rules when you use it, because a lot of the behavioral analysis can also be, as we have seen in Facebook, used differently. So you should always be aware. And that's even more important why you should get into this, because you have to understand how it works, and you have to basically shape it together with the entire environment you are in.
So true, so true. Wise words, wise words. Well, we are out of time. Thank you so much for coming on. You are so inspirational and definitely filled with great advice.
Thank you.
You guys definitely have to check out Dr. Martha Boeckenfeld. You should definitely head to their website at metaverse-academy.xyz. Now, listen, guys, Yatsu, co-founder and chairman of Animoca Brands, was quoted saying that he believes artificial intelligence will enhance metaverse experiences. And he was quoted specifically saying, one primitive example of this is chatbots. In video games, we constantly engage with non-player characters with rudimentary character development. AI changes this significantly. They will deepen and enhance engagement, as well as create deeper meaning and utility to their related ownership and their assets in the metaverse. That was our Hello Open Metaverse segment, brought to you by Animoca Brands. And that was the amazing Dr. Martha Boeckenfeld. Head to their website at metaverse.academy.xyz. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Animoca Brands. As a worldwide industry leader in digital entertainment, blockchain, and digital property rights, Animoca Brands plays a key role in the future growth of the open metaverse. During unstable times like these in burgeoning industries similar to blockchain, it's important to realize that blockchain can and will survive and eventually flourish, and industry-leading companies like Animoca Brands will guide the transformation into the future. Animoca Brands will keep building a better and fairer Web3 ecosystem, create impact for better, and bring true digital property rights to all internet users through NFTs and the open metaverse. For more information and to become part of the excitement, go to animocabrands.com. That's animocabrands.com.
Welcome back, beautiful tri-state area. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Welcoming back to our Hello Open Metaverse segment brought to you by Animoca Brands. Today we're chatting with the amazing Dr. Martha Boeckenfeld from Metaverse Academy. Welcome back, my friend.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Okay, let's get back to it. So we were just chatting metaverse investments, onboarding Web3 users and developers. So our conversation was really centered around these advancements and how artificial intelligence is propelling the space. Now, with the metaverse coming of age, interest is now shifting to the primary value proposition. Can I buy a virtual land parcel and build on it to generate a passive income, so to speak? And the simple answer, right, is that much is currently dependent on the infrastructure of a particular metaverse ecosystem. Some of the popular digital worlds, such as we've been talking about the Sandbox and Decentraland, allow landowners to set up structures and or buildings or host virtual events to monetize their digital space, pretty similar to the concept of owning rental spaces in the real world. Walk me through a simple monetization path versus a creative path should one want to get involved in the metaverse. So two different perspectives from an investor and a user.
From an investor point of view, if you select a virtual land, it's very important, and there are great studies also, for example, in Sandbox, what drives the value of land. And it's interesting because the value is, first of all, driven like in the real life by location. So you have Snoop Dogg, for example, in the metaverse, and there was someone who bought a land directly next to him. Because then you can communicate and it's part of the bigger area. So it's similar what we see in real life. Then when you look at it more from not only from the location point of view, but the experience point of view is very important. So what kind of experiences are provided there? So, or what can you provide there? So it's not only the location. So Snoop Dogg, in terms of experiences, he created his whole event space, his own avatars and everything in that space. So you need to look at what makes sense for you from that point of view. And if you're more a VC kind of person, you look really at the team, what kind of team it is, what kind of roadmap. So if we look at, for example, at Bored Ape, they have started with the NFT. They now have also the other verse. And what they do there, they have a clear roadmap how they got there and is still extending. They do different things. They know what they do and how to provide good experiences. And the core to all we do in the metaverse is community. Because we love to be with people. In this sense, it's our task, but it's like we feel like people in the metaverse, and we love this community. So the same from a user point of view, you should look for the experience and for the community, because it gives you, I would say, most satisfaction. When you are an individual user, when you are a corporate user, is something different. Then you go for like the omniverse, where you have digital twins for your whole factory, where you have your workers doing the design of cars together virtually and so on. But for me, the experience, the collaboration, the shopping clearly is also something, but I think the social entertainment, and that's also what triggers the 3 billion gamers, which are already in a different world, you can say, worldwide. What triggers them is not the play, it's really the interaction, the social communication. That's the beauty also of the metaverse, because it becomes all much more real and much bigger.
Yeah, you said it. You hit it right on. It's actually connectivity and community. And the one interesting thing is that this is in fact the rise of the creator economy if you look at it from the outside in. And the most important thing that you could think about when you talk about power to the people and decentralization is you have about 1.7 billion people in this world that are unbanked and or underbanked. But you know what they all have? They all have a smartphone, and that means that they're connected to the blockchain. And that means that if they're gamers, both men and women, but let's just, for instance, take women that are now rising in the gaming world who are making maybe $5 a day in gaming and trading those tokens and converting them to fiat currency. And they don't even need a bank account to do this. They just need a banking app. They need a wallet, they need connectivity. So to your point, this is paving, the blockchain specifically is paving the way out of poverty. In essence, it's giving power to the people. It's putting the hands, it's putting the power back and outside of the government and back to where it really should be. And that's what I truly believe, that the onboarders that are currently onboarding Web3, that are incentivizing Web3 users to come on, like Animoca and the team and your Metaverse Academy, who's paving the way, that our next generation is going to be living in. My daughter, who's 7 years old, knows more about the metaverse than anybody else because that's what she's growing up in. So this is quite proprietary. Bringing me to talk to us about Metaverse Academy, because this is amazing that you are a dean and partner and founder of this amazing inspirational institution. Please tell me more.
We do exactly how you described it. I couldn't describe it better. We educate, we train people, and we're building the bridge to Web3 and the metaverse. So in a lot of instances, we do this via VR because we are one of the very few who also basically educate in the metaverse and not only talk about it. But to get into the metaverse, we have a lot of companies, we have a lot of users who first want to try it with a desktop or with a mobile phone. Yeah. And then when you first start with a mobile phone to create your own avatar, to be in some of the metaverses, everyone is like immediately realizing it. And we, in particular, in Metaverse Academy, also we have another partner who's female. We highly promote women. So we have special women also communities. We have special communities who join us. I'm joining a lot of women communities just to educate them, because women are really very, very bright, but sometimes they have a hesitation to go to the next step because it's called tech. But remember, the smartphone for you, you don't care about the tech, you just care about the experience. And we try to make this bridge that people really don't think about the tech. We set everything up for them. We make it so easy that the access point is very simple for them. So this is what we do, guiding people, collaborating, and really encouraging creative thinking. We also build for companies, for people, and we encourage people to build themselves. So in our last class, we have a couple of people who now have the mandate to create themselves, for themselves, a little metaverse, and they absolutely love it.
You're empowering. And when you empower an individual, right, both men and women, but specifically women, because nobody has taken the time in a tech blockchain male driven world, right, where you just have predominantly men that are running the funds, that are making the decisions. Women are completely underfunded in the space. In fact, the statistics are staggering. That's a different show. But the fact that you have female inclusion in mind in your projects is very, very important, because if we don't pave the way for women, then this will just become a reiteration of Web 2 with respect to the gender gap. And we can't keep that gender gap. We've got to bridge it. And it starts with women like yourself.
Yeah, it's very, very important that we have this role models. And that was also one of the reasons why I created my own Metaverse just a couple of weeks ago. And it was, I basically launched it on the International Women's Day. And it was a huge success, surprising a bit to me, but I had also a lot of super cool speakers from the entire world. I had meditation in the metaverse, health in the metaverse, so also different features, which are not like the obvious one. It wasn't about selling. It was really about educating, learning. And it was really wonderful because people would have had never been in the metaverse, plus people who are very, very experienced were all there together enjoying. We even had a after event party, you can say. So it was really great fun. And it was, for me, it was very nice to see that there are so many people getting access to something and better understanding how this all works. So the Metaverse is very easily accessible via desktop, via mobile, and via VR. And that was important for me for my creation.
You are a trailblazer, Martha. You are a
Thank you.
trailblazer. Well, we are officially out of time. Thank you so much for an inspiring interview, for paving the way for both men and women, and really being all about edutainment and inclusion. And this is just fantastic stuff that you're doing at Metaverse Academy. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Sam, for having me.
Absolutely. Guys, that was our Hello Open Metaverse segment brought to you by Animoca Brands. And that was the amazing, the incredible trailblazer, Dr. Martha Boeckenfeld. Definitely head to their website at metaverse-academy.xyz. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.